but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Time with Blind United. As always, I'm Ed, and I am joined in the studio today with Brittany. Good morning, Britt.
Good morning.
And I got Brother Pedro working them buttons in the background. Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
So I'm doing great. So anyway, we don't have any interest groups today. I know it might disappoint a few people, but I would like to point out that you can look at this as an opportunity for, if you possibly have an idea for an interest group. This is a time slot that's available. You can get in any day, at any time, all day today on Thursday. So, again, if you got any ideas for an interest group that you might like to start, we'd be more than happy to talk about it and see what we can do. And so just reach out to us at info@blindunited.org with your interest group suggestions, and we'll definitely get right back at you. So, but anything you have to questions, concerns, suggestions, anything you think we should do to try to improve what we're doing, whatever, we're up for all criticism. Again, that email is info@blindunited.org. So hope everybody enjoys their Thirsty Thursday. So
I actually had a coffee with a little bit of creamer, some coffee whipped cream on top, topped it off.
Y'all always do that old special stuff. So was it a mushroom coffee with cream on top or just regular coffee today?
This time was regular coffee, my mushroom coffee. It is there though. It has a kick, but not like super strong. It does kick, but it's not like coffee that it kicks hard with sugar,
Right.
I bet you later on I will crash out, but I'm super tired, so I might not crash out. I need all that energy. But drop a comment. Let us know if you have tried the mushroom coffee or you prefer the regular coffee, dark roast or light or medium roast.
Well, whatever you might want, a frappuccino or a cafe au lait or whatever your favorite morning beverage might be.
Yeah, and I can't lie. When I walk in the room or you smell the coffee, you're like, oh my God, it's something different. It's like you take a deeper breath. Oh my God, it smells so good. I ain't gonna lie. Even when you walk in Starbucks, sometimes you're like, wow.
Wow.
But that's another thing right there that I'm gonna do with Unseen Adventure. Because I like Coffee Bean, but I like Starbucks too, but I might have to make a video. Those two versus each other,
Well, myself personally, I've never really been a Starbucks person per se, but also I heard recently in the news that Starbucks is supporting Israel in the, what we want to call it, the
mass,
the mass shootings in Palestine. You know what I'm saying?
Unaliving of people.
The genocide that's occurring in Palestine.
Yeah, certain words get flagged, though.
Well,
yes.
I mean, Oh, well, I mean, I hear you, but I mean, come on. I've said this for years. Again, remember, this is our opinion. It's not Blind United. It's our opinion as we talk here. I mean, come on. Israel had to wait, and without the assistance of our allies and whatnot, they were able to get the land back so that they could reclaim Israel and whatnot. Why can't you let these folks have that little 27 square miles of piece of land? I mean, think about it. That's not that big a piece of land. It's really not. Let them folks do what they do over there. As long as they're not coming over there. I mean, I get, making, security provisions or whatever for, the Hamas and all of that kind of stuff. But the average Palestinian is not that. You know what I'm saying? Let them people live their own life.
Yeah, the current report saw over 100,000 people died. So think about this: the population, half of their population were children almost.
Right. That's my whole
So
point.
I'm thinking this as children, those children are growing up with no parent, some are growing with no limbs, some passed away.
How about the fact
And
that them bombs don't know the difference between an adult and a child?
yeah, so
Okay.
after it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, what is it gonna be?
Who
So
knows?
we gotta be open minded. Yes, they did get attacked and that was wrong, and they do have the right to defend themselves, but at a point you have to see if it's too excessive.
And just like we're saying, behind this thing with Trump and whatnot, right? Violence is never the answer. It really isn't. I mean, diplomacy, conversation, all of that. I mean, bombs don't have discussions; they just kill. Okay. When you sit down at the table and you have a discussion with folks, now you can try to find a happy medium somewhere. Dropping bombs on each other is definitely not the answer. Killing
And
off each other is not the answer.
correct, you're actually absolutely correct on there. And to hear some of our government officials to say, "Let's just drop the big one. Let's just drop the big one over there," or saying it like if it's nothing. I think that should start. We need to start looking at that because we, as Americans, do not support that. You know what I mean? We don't support uh, the unaliving of children or a mass murdering groups of people. You
I mean, the
know.
American citizens don't go with that. You know what I'm saying? The average
Yeah.
American citizen is against that kind of stuff. But
Hmm.
there is certain sectors of our society that, hey, they they just feel they can do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's
and and let's not lie about it. And some of our politicians are on that standing and that line on that side of the line because of the APAC. They bring a lot of money into our country for lobbying and giving out to these politicians and stuff. If you go look up a couple of statements that they said, they sometimes and they conclude and they come to the conclusion uh, that a lot of politicians won't go against them because of the money they bring in that pass.
right, right.
And it's no
Well, that's
lie.
any of it. I mean, even and just so we can point out both sides.
Hmm.
Corporate America is dumping money on both sides of the fence. They don't care who wins. They just want to be able to get what they're paying for.
Their provisions, their
You know
laws they want to pass, the laws they want to get rid of, things like that.
all of that. I mean, again, corporate America is just trying to be that elite part of it, whatever. No, no, no. We can't take away regulations. We can't just let you, as the old folks used to say, just run amok. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
got to have some guidelines. There has to be some guardrails.
Mm.
You can't just do whatever you want to do. I mean,
Well, you can't, and it's kind of messed up because I know in the World Court they have put out a arrest warrant for Netanyahu and stuff like that, but they don't have an army. And then if you have the most powerful country saying we're gonna back up our friend no matter what, I don't think that should be our stance. You know,
No, it should not.
if we're the most powerful, that shouldn't be our stance.
I mean, if you committed war crimes against humanity, you should be locked up. I mean, it's just that simple.
Mm.
You know. Yeah, I mean, he's even
Including even people from the United States that have caused some damage like that. You know, like
true.
in my opinion, the Iraq War, there was no bombs of mass destruction, nothing like that, and a place got demolished.
Well, but I mean, as I say, know your history. You got to know who was in office when that took place.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm sorry, but that party is favored for they 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 got prize, as they tell us, right? They got prize in doing things like that. So I mean, again, it's not right. It's just again, we need look. He's doing the same thing over there. That I mean, he done fired his whole defense or whatever advisors and all of that. Because everybody's against what he's doing, and he don't want to hear it. He wants to do what he wants to do, regardless.
Yeah, and then people are leaving the government posts. Some are resigning and other things like that. And look, this is another thing that I feel like the Biden campaign could have reached out to you younger folks, and it's cutting off the weapon supply. Right? It's like they got the most modern weapons in Israel and Palestine. They're a third world country. Okay, they're not even their own state. When someone else controls your water, your food coming in, and your electricity, you're not your own state. You're not fully
You're not independent.
autonomous. Yeah, you're not independent. Exactly.
You know, and on that note, I mean, I'm not saying that we absolutely depend on other folks, but in the world that we live in now, I mean, we do. I mean, we want things from this country and that country, just like they want stuff from over here. So, in
Yeah,
essence, for us
and
to live the life we want, we are codependent on each other.
yeah, and if you think about it, in a strategy sense, would be to be cool with everybody because we're getting materials and products from everywhere, right? Because they want to make it a global economy. Then why in a strategy sense you're gonna go and do all this? You know what I mean? It
Well,
wouldn't.
they want a global economy, but they don't want a global society.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. Yeah, it wouldn't work without the other one. You know what I
You know,
mean?
but they're doing whatever they can to make it work. You know what I'm saying? As far as all the imports, export, and all that kind of stuff, that's keeping the global economy going. But they just don't want us to, as citizens, to get along with each other because then it would be a global society.
Yeah, and then think about it. So you have a car on the road, and the parts come from everywhere, right? So let's say certain parts you can't get you can't get no more because you certain parts of the world they don't come to us no more because whatever it may be, right? It could be tension, whatever, right? Think about it. Now you're rolling down the road with no door. You're missing a seat or two because they came from another place. You might be missing your gas cap because that came from somewhere else. It wouldn't make sense if you're building stuff that brings parts from all over the world, you know. And it's a joke to me sometimes when you have the United Nations and the World Court and the United States could just veto everything. Oh well, we're gonna veto that. We don't think, and that kind of to play on words and no pun intended. That trumps everything when the United States calls that veto out. You know, and I think that makes a imbalance of power in a way. They're not an equal footing because the United States has that veto power, and I understand, and it could be a good thing, but it can also be abused.
Well, I mean, it's definitely can be abused because that's exactly what's going on, in my opinion. Anyway, is that power is being abused. I mean, each continent on this planet has valuable resources that we all need. That right there should be enough motivation for us to get along. You know what I'm saying? That
And
right there should be the motivation to help us try to develop some of these underdeveloped countries so that they can do what they want to do. I mean, I'll go back since you brought up the, Iraq War, right?
mm-hmm.
So, we know Papa Bush was in control back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you remember how old you were back then, Pedro?
What? Give me the decade.
Well, I can't remember exactly when it was either, but I do remember
Like
the
early 2000s,
Yeah,
maybe?
early 2000s. Yeah,
Okay, I do remember the
2003, 2001. We went into Afghanistan.
okay. So so it was actually before that, wasn't it?
Uh, no, it was.
Ziggy, when did America go into the Iraq War?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, in March 2003,
Well, it
U.S.
was
forces
2003.
invaded Iraq.
Okay, 2003.
Mm-hmm.
So just prior to that, uh, uh, Papa Bush went to Mexico. Okay, you know why he went to Mexico, Pedro?
Give us the lesson, Ed. I like to hear this. History lessons with Ed Davis.
Mexico has some of the best crude oil on the planet.
Yeah.
Okay, so he went over there, talked to the folks down there, and said, "Look, I'm finna invade Iraq. We getting ready to we're gonna blow this stuff up over there." Okay, because it was all about the oil, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they went over there and they started blowing things up. Basically, he was letting them know, look, when we get done, we may come here to get oil from you, right? This may be
Mm-hmm.
a bonus for you if this, it could work out in your favor, right? So, but anyway, he left, and that's exactly what he did. They targeted all of those oil wells. The whole sky was black in Iraq.
Yeah, and the thing was that they had these plans since the 80s.
Yeah,
They had
yeah.
these plans since the 80s. If you haven't read up on it, these even going into Iran is since the 80s. That was the whole stepping
Right. Well,
stone to
again,
get to Iran.
this is what they call a strategic planning. If we have to invade, this is how we're going to do it, right? So, but bottom line, so they
Think
went over
about
there,
this
they did
too.
what they did. Now in the process
Mm-hmm.
of all of these fires, they developed new techniques on how to put these oil well fires out real fast. So, essentially what they did, they ended up saving the oil over there. They did what they did with Saddam and all that kind of stuff, got him out of power and all that kind of stuff. Now it's supposed to be, a good thing. But again, it was their plan. They had all of this stuff. It's all about, the resources, I said, the natural resources that's
Mm-hmm.
on each continent of this planet, and because they had control of it, America wanted it. Well, the world wanted it really, but so they did what they had to do to get back control of it. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to do the same thing regardless of what it is. Look at what they're doing over in Africa with the blood diamonds. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They sending them folks down in them mines and ain't got no oxygen getting them diamonds. They don't care about them folks. They worry about them diamonds.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, they talk about even with our iPhones, they talking about the plant in China or whatever it is that does they said out in front of the plant where they process the minerals for that, they got a great big lake of toxic waste that comes from processing the minerals to get that mineral that they use within our phones.
you also heard that they have like suicide nets.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
always been suicide networks.
yeah, they have the suicide nets for people that jump off buildings over there that work for these companies, and
Oh, you're talking about on that level, yeah.
yeah, yeah, on that
Because
level.
they want, again, they can't speak out and they don't want to do wrong, but because it's a communist country or whatever, you're going to do what they tell you to do, or they're gonna kill you or lock you up in a concentration camp or a
This,
slave labor camp.
They
You know
also set the rules, the guidelines. They set all that for their favor, not the workers' favor. So
exactly.
that's why a lot of people, you wonder why different people from different countries, not just Latin America, come into our country, because our country, we can live free, we have freedom of speech, we have something special here. We don't have a monarch, we don't have a king, we don't have none of that. We have something special that
Well,
only been tried once in the world.
we hope we can hold on to it.
Yes, we
We
and
hope we can
also
hold on to that.
And also, breaking news: the president has COVID.
Oh yeah, I seen that. So
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, we've been talking about it there all this week. How COVID is back on the rise. And I mean that man is traveling around doing his campaigning and all that kind of stuff. So
mhm.
I mean, part of that campaign trail is as the old school stuff say, shaking hands and kissing babies. You know what I'm saying? So he's up close and personal with a lot of different people. So.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, and we wish him a speedy recovery. I know he's in the elderly, so you know how COVID and elderly hits. Sometimes it hits too hard, so let's just give him a speedy recovery. And I think even Trump has recovered. He was around the hospital, running around, doing his rounds, so he's feeling better. You know.
No, he left the hospital the same day, Pedro.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, because he got only hit by a
No,
fragment
they
of glass.
the RNC convention has been going on for 3 days now.
Yeah. Oh, damn. They're partying over there.
Okay, I mean, so no, he again. I know they not. So right after it all first happened, I was listening to this last night, and and they some folks were saying it, but the other one didn't want to say it. But I remember right after it happened, everybody was, what's going on with Trump? What's going on with Trump? What's going on with Trump? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when the FBI and the CIA and the Secret Service and all that old kind of stuff, whatever, when they did their uh, 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 press briefing or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The state and all that. I don't think the the Secret
Well, no,
Service
not
was not up
CIA.
there.
No, Secret Service got up there.
Oh, okay.
Secret Service, in their statement, they made the statement that he was not hit by shrapnel from a bullet. He was hit by shrapnel from that teleprompter that was
Mm-hmm.
hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to go deeper into it, they're saying that it was it was a setup.
Yeah, they think that.
I mean, again, going into conspiracies, and I'm not going to say I necessarily believe it, but I do say it's plausible, right? They set this young man up, okay, got him to climb up on that roof. His family had already been targeted as one of the top 20 Republicans in that state. Why? Because they were Trump supporters and they were Second Amendment gun right people. Okay. So anyway, they talked to, okay, get up on the roof, whatever, shoot the monitor, whatever, right? He went down, he ducked down. Then the Secret Service put him down, right? I'm talking about Trump, okay? When he stood up and raised up his hand, I wish we could see the images, but everybody said that the image behind him was the American flag with him with his arm raised up.
Oh shit! What a perfect shot.
That part, photo ops. We know he's into photo ops.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay, then
also,
he started pumping that fist, and now the new cry throughout the Republican Party is what? Fight, fight, fight. Okay,
he's
but
setting them
again,
up, Ed. He's setting them up.
but
Um,
again, they're talking about they tried to kill him. They this, they that. Well, number one, who is they? Because the young man that pulled the trigger was a Republican. So who is they? Okay, let's talk about that part. It ain't
yeah.
us. We immediately came. Biden immediately
Mm,
called the wife of the guy that got killed that was behind Trump.
mm-hmm.
Okay, She did not accept the call. Why? Because her husband, the one that got killed, was a super mega guy, and he would not have approved of her talking to Biden.
That
Trump,
that
Trump still has not called that woman.
that's insane. Let's break that down, guys. It's insane that a husband will have or a man will have that type of thinking. Do not accept that president call because he's on the other side. The way the mentality that they have is like a gang mentality, a gangster's mentality. Hey, don't call that. You better not. You stay on this side. And it should not be like this, guys. We should be able to work together to make policies happen for the American people. They shouldn't be bickering back and forth. And someone that does not call your family to say I'm sorry, and you're deep into his campaign, and the opposite side called you, and you won't answer, but the man that you're following doesn't call you, that's a big slap to the face, their respect.
Well, I mean, not only that, look at whatever you hear. Well, no, I don't care. What news you listen to.
Mhm.
There that the right is saying that the left is all about violence and all of this, but everything that the right is doing has violence attached to it. Okay,
Yeah,
I mean, what again? Violence is not the answer.
and
It's not the answer.
yes, it's not the answer, folks, and it's that's correct. But in the new statistics, the red states have the most gun deaths now. It
Because they
used
got the
to,
most guns.
yeah, it used to be the blue states. They'd be like New York, L.A., Chicago. That's what they point to and stuff. But now it has reversed.
But
The
that's
red
also
states
when
have
our
the
that's
topmost
that's
gun
also when
experience.
our gang violence was high.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. But now, if you think about it, the blue states have the most strict gun laws, and the red states don't. So I could see the
and
correlation now.
and the gangs have realized, look, man, let's slow this down because we ain't doing it but killing each other off. You know,
That's true. That's true. And but that aside, we should start looking at the truth, at the facts. And the facts is that the red states are having more gun deaths, more shootings, and the Republicans are having a problem that they're not foreseeing because this young man that did this is telling them something. There, there's people already either they're tired of what's happening at the division on the Republican Party because there's the ones they call rhinos, and then you got the regular Republicans, and then you have the mega crowd. And I think Trump polarizes the Republicans that he some Republicans are not included. You know what I mean? They probably
I
don't
mean,
like his
come on.
sloganess, his BS, his lies, whatever it may be. I think he's making things polarized over there.
But
People are.
he's
Mhm,
got the whole party wrapped around his finger. The guy that he just chose as his VP pick, J.D. Vance.
mhm.
Do your research. J.D. Vance has stood up and said that Trump is the American Hitler, that he is bad for the country. But now all of a sudden, he's ready to drop down on his knees and kiss the ring.
What even Trump puts it something similar like that. Trump said, "Oh, now he's okay. Now he's on his knees." Trump said it himself. Go look up
Right.
his speeches.
He
He
did this.
will.
They just did the same thing with Nikki Haley.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nikki Haley. Yeah.
Nikki Haley, I mean, she hung in there as long as she could. She took so many votes away from him in the primaries that it wasn't even funny, right? But
And
now
then
she's bowed down.
what happened to standing
She,
by your
she,
principles?
right. What happened to standing on your principles?
Yeah, even on the left side too, we have certain people that just want to stick to the corporate Democrats is what I call it, the ones that
Yeah,
are, you know,
yeah, there's a
you,
lot of them.
so it's on both sides, but right now we're concentrating on the other side that violence is not it's not the answer, and when you have somebody that has followers, almost like a cult following, and you're like, fight, fight, fight. What is alluding to? Fight for what? What is he running for? For the country. So when he says fight, 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 he's not telling you the rest of the line, but they are getting it subliminally. And a lot of them know what he means. Fight for the country. Fight, fight. He's not giving you specific directions, but he's
Well,
already planting
it's
seeds, and that's
subliminal
what
for
they do.
a fight to make sure I get in office is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
it ain't fight for this policy. It ain't fight for that policy. You
And
know what I'm saying? He has what has he said about policy in this campaign?
smaller sheep. That's what he said. Policy, smaller sheep.
You know, I haven't heard him say anything about any policy. The only policy we keep hearing about, which is, as they say, is basically identical to Project, was it 47, which is
Mm,
what number he'll be if he's reelected, 47. Okay. Project 2025. It's just 47 rewritten. That's the
yes,
only policies they got, but it's not official,
they're
right?
never gonna
Because,
make that official. It's so controversial.
but if he gets in office, it's going to be automatic.
Yes, and he's pedaling back right now, saying that he's dissing himself from Project
Okay,
2025.
and
But
they're saying that's another theory why that young man did what he did was because he's trying to separate himself from Project 2025.
yeah, but yeah, he says, but he's not. Okay, let's just be real. Because he's
Well,
not
right.
telling us policy. You know why he's not telling us policy? Because the policy is already there, and that's that
It's already there.
2025.
It's already been written.
Okay, and the vice president he chose says he wants a full ban on reproductive medication for abortion, a full stop on abortion, medication for abortion, everything. Even if the mom might lose her life, even if the fetus may be dead inside, they can't still perform one.
I
Think
take it a
about that
step
one.
further, Pedro. They're going to do away with not only that, they're going to do away with the abortion pill, the Plan B thing. They're
Hmm.
going to do away with condoms.
Yeah, think about that, guys. You
Okay,
want
they're gonna for these folks that can't have babies that intravenous,
to intro
fake
butyl? Hmm.
fertilization, whatever. They doing away with that.
Yeah, that's messed up. How they're telling you what to do and what not to do, and they tell you the party of freedom. Another thing that they're gonna repeal that is in that Project 25, it's the same sex marriage. They
All of
want
that's
to
going
ban
away.
all that.
They want
So
to roll back the Voting Rights Act.
yeah, they want to
What's
do
that
a
going to do? That's going to stop not only minorities from voting. It's going to stop the women from voting.
yeah. And I know they're saying, "Oh, you can't say nothing bad about what just happened to the former president." But think about it. When Nancy Pelosi husband said, he was like, "Oh, I bet those hurt." Oh, yeah. I wonder why he got hit like that.
Right,
I
right, right.
wonder why the ex-president, the former president, somebody within his home, his line, his side, came and felt like he needed to take his life. So he needs to start soul searching, but you can't teach an old dog new tricks. As they
No, I
say.
mean you're not going to change him. He's been this way all his life.
He's been
If you
privileged.
listen to his niece, Mary Trump, if you listen to what she said, and she's been preaching this ever since what 14, 15, when he first started running for president.
Hmm.
He's been a spoiled little brat all his life. You know, he took the money his dad gave him. He, you know, messed it up and lost all of it, right? Then he went after the family and took the rest of the money from the family to try it again. You
Yeah,
know, I mean, the money that she
recognized.
was due because of her dad, which is Donald's older brother, right? He took their inheritance. So
Mm.
they didn't get nothing out of it, So I
That's
mean, it's
crazy. You're willing to steal from your nieces and nephew, your brother, your own blood.
he not only that, he stole from his aunts and uncles. The uncle that he was talking about was an MIT guy.
Yes, yes, the one that he's like, oh, he worked for the FBI and all this.
Okay, did you know that his aunt was a federal judge?
Hmm. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he took it from her too.
Wow. No shame in the game, guys. He just loves that green.
No compassion for anybody, including his own family.
Yeah, so think about that. If someone treats the family like that, what would you think? Think about that. And now you want him to run the country and have power over millions and millions of people. Think about that. We know he's a spoiled one, and I could tell that he's spoiled, and he bends over to the people giving him instructions. He's not. He doesn't. I know he presents himself like he's that strong man. Oh, I'm the strong man. I stand up. I do what I want. No, it's not true. A lot of times when he was in office, he bent it over. He put that knee down. And number two is that someone that tramples over his own family, takes from his own family, would not care to take away from a stranger, someone he does not have no connection to. Um,
I mean,
yeah,
again, look at everybody. I mean, just like I made the comment. I think it was the other day or so. I mean, I know we've been talking about this for a minute because it's really, really important, folks. Y'all don't realize democracy is on the ballot. You know what I'm saying? Democracy is on the ballot. We're going to continue this American experiment. It's almost 250 years old. We're going to move into a new thing. Well, actually, we're going to back to an old thing when England was the monarchy over here. It's just we're going to have a new king, and the new king is going to be Donald Trump. Okay, who's going to be next in line? Donald Jr.,
um, according
Eric.
to some predictions, he'd be a bunker.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm sorry. Any of them, I don't care. I don't. None of them. I don't want any to know. I don't. That's my point. We don't want a monarchy. We fought the American Revolution to get out from under a monarchy.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Hmm.
why are we going to turn it back into one? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
But
and you know how
it
they're.
only makes sense to the people that want to control everybody else.
Yes. Also, you know how they're always saying, "Oh, the left, they got communists. We're looking for communists. We don't like that." Well, what they're trying to become, a monarch, a, a communist state, whatever it may be, it's almost the
Okay,
same thing. It's controlling everything.
but look at it this from this angle.
Mm.
Who is friends with all of the communist leaders? Who says they are great men? They're brilliant men.
Yes,
They're
guys.
strong men.
And also, hey Ed, I know you probably know more of this. I've been hearing, and it's been coming out of Trump's mouth that he, before he gets in office, once he gets elected or whatever, once he wins, he will call and have a conversation with Putin. The way he was saying it was saying that he's maybe still in contact with Putin because
He
he's
is.
and and what you think? Wouldn't that
Pedro, hold on,
be
no, 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 no.
illegal?
Let's back this up. Let's back this up.
Hmm.
Right after the debate,
Hmm.
when he went to Virginia for a rally, okay,
Hmm.
there is photos that you can find on the internet, of course, right? His jet being parked right next to Putin's jet
Mm.
in Virginia.
Okay, that reminds me of the Hillary moment. Remember that?
But when he told them to, find, Russia, if you're listening, find these emails.
No, 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 not that. Remember when Bill Clinton parked his jet next to the FBI's head, the lady, I forgot her name, but remember what Trump was saying when they had the picture with the jets next to each other? Oh, I wonder what they were talking about. So think we could say the same with
Okay, but is it
Trump
not
and
legitimate for the president to have a jet parked next to the FBI? It's
well,
not legitimate.
ex-president. It was
Well,
Bill
it doesn't
Clinton.
matter. It's still he's still within the country.
Yeah, but
This
the octaves is what
okay,
the
which
way he looks.
and that's my point. The optics of that is nowhere near as bad as the optics of the ex-president being parked next to the dictator
I
of
know.
Russia.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Why the news is not nothing about that. Remember when that happened with Bill Clinton and
Because
that lady? It
Pedro,
was all over the place.
who owns corporate media?
Break it down, Ed. Break it down. Break it down, Ed.
I mean, there's really only three people that own all of the media. Okay, they own all of it. They control it all.
Mm.
Okay, they're the ones that say what can come through their channel.
Project Mockingbird, guys. That's Project Mockingbird.
You know what I'm
Um,
saying? I mean, they control the rhetoric that comes out. You know what I'm saying? They get to control. They can put the conspiracies out there. They can spin it any way they want to spin it because they are in control.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
the only way you're going to find free and fair media in today's world, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's most of it is on YouTube
Yeah, or overseas and stuff like that because
or overseas, but again, it's people that have their independent channels, you know what I'm saying, that are
and
not
they
taking no kind of money from nobody other than
mhm,
average citizens to keep their
mhm.
channel alive, and they're reporting what's real. I mean,
And
I'm sorry. I
honestly
love,
too, yeah, there's channels that sometimes they have someone on the left and someone on the right co-hosting together and they
right.
give their opinion and they're crowdfunding. So they don't have no advertisement. You don't have to think, oh, they might be doing it because of this. It's none of that. So I think that's better when you don't have money within that could control you and
Because you
pull
don't
out.
owe nobody.
Yes, yes, and that's and guys, the way of this what I call dinosaur way of getting news, little by little, it's leaving because the average person that watches CNN and Fox News are 45 and up. They're more like 50 and up. So little by little, the age just keeps getting bigger because our younger crowd, our younger citizens are getting their news from all over the place, online, it could be on the web, it could be on YouTube, it could be all over the place. But even with that, you must go and research and make sure whatever you're getting from national syndicated news and independent news is correct. You need to come to your own conclusions.
Well, I mean, and again, you can tell when you listen to them, which ones, I mean, you can tell if they're, non biased or biased.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hate to go here. One that I like is the Young Turks. Those folks are really non biased. Okay. They tell you straight out. They call out the Republicans when they wrong. They call out the Democrats when they wrong. They don't care. When they see something that's wrong, they take a laser pointer and point directly at what's wrong, where the conspiracy, where the corruption or whatever's coming from. You know,
Mhm.
they don't care because they're not taking money from them folks. I mean, of course, like a dude, I believe he's one of the main owners of the Young Turks, whatever. In the California primary, he was in the primaries.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
He
Jen
just,
Cooler. Jen Cooler.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, again, he knew he didn't have any chance of winning, but he was, just, he, he just wanted to throw his name in the hat.
Yeah,
He-
and I know you're behind Biden, but when it was the primaries, I was listening to it, and I know in some state like in Florida, they can kind of like canceled the primaries. They were all for Biden. But I think if they would have kept some of these people in the race, they could have a little more, because some of them are fast on their feet, and I know they could throw insults back maybe
well,
at
and
the
and
other
again,
side.
just to be clear, yes, I am for Biden, but maybe not for the reasons that people think. Biden is not the best choice, but he's a better choice than Trump.
Yeah.
That's my point. I mean, Biden is not the best choice. Biden is, yeah, again,
And
he's 83 years old. I mean, he can't walk as fast as he used to, can't talk as well as he used to, whatever, right? Could they
mhm.
have put somebody up in there? I wish they would have. I mean, I wish they'd probably say Bernie Sanders was too old, but I'd vote for Bernie Sanders,
Yeah,
you
I would
know,
have done it again. That was my choice
in
for was it
16.
2016, Bernie all the way. Even
Yeah,
I know he didn't want to run on 2020, but man, I hoped he would have ran.
I did
Uh,
too. I
Marion
did too.
Wilmison is another
Yeah,
one.
Marion Williams. I was all with her too. Man, she was great. You
Yeah,
know what
she's
I'm
great.
saying?
She's hey, when I seen her go on Fox News and they were throwing all those back and forth, hey, she was able to articulate herself. She was able to she, spit back and all that, and have them on silent right fast. You know what I mean? So she was pretty nice. She was pretty cool. You
Yeah, no,
know,
no, she was way cool. I mean,
she
man,
was
I
way
I
cool. I
wish she
liked
would.
her.
I did. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, there are other choices out there. I mean, I think that it was they gave it to Biden because he was loyal. You know what I'm saying? Or
Hmm.
being loyal to him because of his life of service, whatever. The people don't understand. Do you really understand why Obama chose him?
Why?
Because he was as close to the middle, right,
Hmm.
as you could get. He was damn near a Republican.
Yeah, that's what people don't understand too. When you they call Biden a progressive, he's no near progressive.
He was damn near a Republican. But Obama knew that with Biden on his team, there was no doubt he was going to win.
Mm. Obama's
Okay.
a smart man, man. No lie.
Okay. Yeah, he's smart because he got in there, did his 8 years, and now he didn't step back. You know what I'm saying?
Became a
Uh,
movie producer, a book writer.
I mean,
Ah, man, more
you
power to
know,
him.
he did a lot of great things for the country and stuff. Even though a lot of folks say he didn't, he did a lot of great things for the country while he was in there. But again, Biden, when he sat there and heard what the rhetoric and how Trump was acting and whatever, he said, "No, I'm running in 2020 because we got to get rid of this guy." Now, had he gotten behind somebody else, that I think it would have worked. Somebody younger, and,
Hmm.
and and then been more of maybe an advisor to that person, and then help that person with his connections to navigate, DC,
Hmm.
and work his way through and get the things they needed to get elected. I think that would have been a better choice. I mean, again, the man is just, again, he's old. I get it. But I say this again, I'd rather have him in a wheelchair with an iPod with voiceover turned on where he can do text to speech. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'd
because one
rather
of the
have
smartest
him.
mans could not even move his lips, but he had so much theory about our universe, and his theories are still coming
So,
true to this day. Also, I wanted to go back and talk about what we were talking about the oil, and this connects to Project 2025, where you know how you said Bush went down there and talked to Mexico. Think
yeah.
about this, guys. They want to bomb Mexico's cartels. But it's not for the cartels, guys. It's to go and take their big deposits of oil and minerals that they just found for
All of that.
that's what it's for. Um we
It's
don't
to
need
get the
another war.
is to get the Mexican gangsters out of the way
Hmm.
so they can come down there and do what they want to do.
They want to get the government out the way.
You know what
And,
I'm
and
saying?
and the thing is, they tell you they're not for these wars. Stop the war over there in Crimea, and we don't need to send weapons. But they don't like that war. They're for the war that they like. So they don't make them. Don't let
If it
them make
don't
you.
make dollars, it don't make sense in their mind. You
Yeah.
know
So
what I'm saying?
don't
Uh,
let someone tell you that they're party of no wars or the party of peace. You know. Some of these people haven't met a war they don't like. Go back and look at their voting record for these for these wars and
most,
stuff like that.
most of the folks in D.C. got stock in the industrial war complex. Okay, they own stock in a lot of these corporations that develop all of our military weapons.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
money for them. When there's war, then America is doing what? We're like right now with Israel. What are we doing? We're
Sending them.
supplying them with weapons. We're not selling it. We're giving it to them.
Yeah, that's kind of like, what's up with that? What's up with
Whether
that?
we
I'm
give
paying
it
for
to
those
them,
weapons right there.
but here's the crazy part: whether we give it to them or sell it to them, right? When you own Chevy, right?
Hmm.
Whether you give the Chevys away or you sell the Chevys, when you run out of Chevys, what you got to do? You got to make some more.
Hmm.
Okay, because what? Everybody's always gonna need a Chevy. That's the
Yeah.
same thing. So when they give these weapons away to these various countries, they have to manufacture new ones and put back in the stockpile.
And when they give those weapons away, it's like they took money out of our pockets, because the
They
ones that
did because
really,
we're paying for it.
yeah, because we're paying for it, folks. That
We're
those weapons
paying
are
for
not
it.
free. Those weapons are not free. They're free for those government folks that are giving them away, because the government folks are not paying for them. The
That
government is
stealth
not paying for
bomber
them,
is over $1 billion.
and has problems too.
Okay, those aircraft carriers, those are $2-3 billion.
Yes, and the stealth bomber, just to keep the paint coating so it won't be detected. Oh my God, those are thousands and thousands of dollars a day, guys. The F-35 came out of the building assembly with problems. The plane was built, the software was not even completed. um, they had to take a cannon from the back of the plane and put it in the bottom because it was unbalanced. This plane has so many different problems that they're using the last generation. You know, the F 15. What is it? The F-16.
I'm not sure. I don't keep up with them because, again, they spend $1 billion in the development, and then they find out that it has a flaw, and what do? They just park the program and start something else.
Yeah, that's true. Or they'd be like, "Oh, we promised this is gonna come in this time," and they can't deliver. Another thing I wanted to talk about is
You got
SpaceX.
less than 10 minutes.
I know, I know. I think we could do this in less than 10 minutes. SpaceX just moved to Texas. Also Tesla. All these companies from Elon Musk. I could have seen this from 4 or 5 years ago. I already knew. He was kept. He wanted to get what he wanted to get from the California government, but they didn't allow it. So he's moving on. It's kind of, he wants to get whatever he could get, like a baby crying. But that aside, now they grounded his rocket. So now we have astronauts stuck in space. What do you think about that, Ed? About
Well, I mean, luckily there's SpaceX, and then what's the other one? I forget, but
Blue
there's actually.
Origins?
Yeah, right. So bottom line, luckily there's somebody else who can get up there and get them or take them some supplies or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, when you got Elon Musk money, trust and believe your rockets ain't gonna be stuck on the ground that long.
Yeah,
Trust
but
and believe that. I
they,
mean, he gonna either get it fixed or he gonna get somebody to overlook the regulations that's got
I
him on the
hope
ground.
not to overlook. I hope he fixes these things, because
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the ultimate goal, Pedro. But we got to accept the fact that government is corrupt.
yeah, they might build a hoopty rocket.
Well, evidently, if he's stuck on the ground, his must be a hoopty.
I wonder what was the problem, but that was what they're saying. We have some astronauts stuck in the space station and things like that. Even his spaceship is on orbit, and it's stuck on orbit because of the rocket. So they gotta get on it. And I think he's going to Texas for the tax cuts, guys. A lot of companies leave for those tax cuts. They hardly pay any taxes in Texas. Plus, he will be able to pay his workers a minimum wage. And what's the minimum wage in Texas, Ed?
I'm not sure. It might be, right to work wages. I don't know. I
Eight
wish
dollars.
Georgia. Okay.
$8.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
tell
I'm not
me,
surprised.
hmm
So now
less
you got
regulations
you
though.
got you got $8 an hour people
hmm
working on a multi-million-dollar transport vehicle.
It doesn't make sense. It's like this. This is the easy way to compare it, folks. You got people that make $8 an hour as a minimum wage, one part of the country, and another part of the country, you got people making $20 an hour, right? But when you go to Amazon and you buy a product or Walmart online, there the price is the same across the country.
Across the country. It don't
Think about that
matter.
one.
It don't matter. Again, and they say, like Walmart, they say, well, we buy all our stuff from overseas, whatever, because it's cheaper. That way we can give you lower prices. Okay, what are you giving it to me? 3 cents cheaper than I can buy it at somewhere else? You're not giving me no hell of a discount, but yet you're making 200-300% on your investment for going over there and getting it.
Yeah.
Because you're only giving me a nickel off. It's really basically what it comes. I don't know if you remember the back in the day when Walmart had the campaign, the falling prices.
Yeah, the rollbacks.
You know what I'm saying? Well, it was rollbacks and it was falling. Prices falling, whatever. But bottom line, they were monitoring what that product was going for on in the market, right? And then they would just lower theirs a few cents cheaper.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's all it was.
And Walmart is the largest uh company in the United States, and half of the workers are in some type of government assistance because Walmart believes they shouldn't pay their workers a living wage. And I think us as taxpayers, we need to hold that company accountable for using our money. Okay, they're like, oh, they could go to the welfare programs and stuff, but they don't want to pay a living wage. And then you have people complaining in government, why are there on food stamps? Let's cut all these programs.
All these people on social services.
Yeah, yeah, and the biggest company and the wealthiest company still paying their workers less than minimum wage, guys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, in the states where it's allowed, you know, people want to get mad. Am I mad that prices are going up? At fast food in America, well, in California especially. I know there's a lot of other states that's doing it as well. But am I mad that prices are going up? I am, but I ain't mad at the fact that you had to pay them people $20 an hour now because
Yeah.
now them people are making a living wage.
And also, folks, the prices are going up. 60% of prices going up is due to companies knowing that nothing's gonna happen to them if they blame inflation. Inflation started because of certain shipments and products that were coming from certain parts of the world.
When
And
they were, well, let's go here during COVID, the LA Harbor, one of the biggest ports in America for imports, ships coming in from the Pacific, right?
Mhm.
Ships were stacked up out in Long Beach Harbor.
and what happens when you have an overstock, Ed?
You have to do a clearance sale. You got to get rid of it.
Exactly. And
But
why
when
that?
but when they're sitting out there on a container ship in the middle of the ocean, now you have a demand issue. You don't have a supply. It's a supply and demand issue. So you don't have the supply, so the demand goes up, and you get to raise up the prices.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel you. See, and yeah, this study that came out was saying 60% of inflation is just it's not because of inflation. It's because companies, excuse me, companies know that they're not getting no 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 blowback from the government. So, folks, think about this: less regulations on these corporations and companies means the more they're gonna try to get away with. So, you know, do you want a businessman that's only for businesses? Do we all own a business? Think about that one. Do we have workers more than 500 workers? Because that's who I'm seeing the tax cuts come. I remember when Trump was in office, SpaceX got a refund in their taxes. A lot of corporations got money back. What you call that? Why are they getting a state refund and a government refund check?
Because they say
should
they're
be
operating
paying.
at a loss. They
Yeah,
say
but
they're operating at a loss, but the stock market says they actually made a profit. So I don't know. You tell me which one. I mean, it sounds like some Trump stuff to me.
it was them tax cuts that Trump gave them. Those tax cuts ended up making them that the government owes them money. That's how they got their money back, because those tax cuts that Trump gave made them pay a less percentage on taxes, that it ended up coming out that they.
Pedro, I ain't trying to burst your
But I know
brother, but they wasn't paying no damn taxes before Trump gave them the cut.
they were paying low. They were paying low. Now
Well, I mean, they were
some
paying
ended up paying
a
zero.
lesser percentage, but they knew how to work the books
Yes.
to where they ended up not paying any taxes.
Yeah, you're correct on that. They have lawyers that look for all these loopholes and all
Hold
this.
on, hold on. They're paying lawyers millions of dollars a year to figure out how to get them out of paying taxes. It's just that simple. Okay? That's what they do. They're paying these CEOs $1 million a year to sit around a table and figure out a way to charge us more money for their little products.
Yeah, and what world? Think about this. In what world does the price of living, like the wages, go up a few dollars, but the annual bonus for a CEO, so more than $1 million, 5, 10 million, sometimes even $70 million for a CEO of these companies?
But that's a bonus. Let's talk about their regular salary. That's at least 300-500% what the average person working for the company gets.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy. So
how is the guy sitting at the top with a suit on more valuable than the guy in the factory making the product?
Yeah, because they turned this world backwards. Remember, back in the days, it would be like, need to take care of the workers. Got to take care of the workers. They keep this factory open. They don't care
It
about
also
that no more.
used to be, brand recognition as well. I mean, your brand was about quality. Oh, my product lasts for 20, 30 years. No, they don't care if it lasts 6 months. Matter of fact, they're designing it so it'll go out within a year to 6 months to a year. Why? Because you got to go buy another one.
Yeah.
They can't make no money off you if you're holding on to if that product lasts for 10 years.
Yeah, and think
Same
about
thing with the
this.
drug manufacturers, okay? They're not trying to cure a common cold. They're not trying to cure cancer because there's no money in the cure. The cure is in the treatment.
Yeah, and that's the problem, the bottom line. So when the companies are all about the bottom line, they're not gonna build that washer that's gonna last you 5 to 10 years. That will save you money on buying a washer every few years. Think about that, because if we don't need to buy certain appliances every few years. We have more money in our pockets. They won't have that money in their pockets, but it benefits the American people to have those appliances built better and to last, and that will go longer in our pockets. But they're about their bottom line, so
And
we know where that goes.
guess where them products are built?
Not even in the United States. So no American worker got money in their pockets, guys.
They're built in a third world country where they can pay somebody $20 a week to build your refrigerator. They're gonna bring it back over here and charge you $3,200 for it.
Yeah, and it cost them like $300.
If that. That's labor and material.
Yeah, reports of iPhones, guys. Reports of iPhones. Half of the charge of an iPhone, or 40% charge of the iPhone that you're paying, is mostly marketing. Think about that.
Yeah.
It costs around $600-700 to make a iPhone Pro Max, or even down to $500. The rest is all marketing.
Yeah, yeah.
So think about
Marketing,
that.
corporate, whatever, whatever. It's just so. Anyway, folks, it's been another lovely day. I mean, I know we're
Thirsty
talking a lot.
Thursdays.
I know
Yeah.
we're doing a lot of, political talk and stuff like that this week or whatever. But again, like I said, it's important, y'all. Please know your history, do your research, pay attention to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Take them rose-colored glasses off. Everything is not peachy. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Democracy is on the ballot. So if you haven't registered, please go register. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When it comes to your turn to vote, please do your duty. Go vote.
No
Okay?
matter who you vote for.
No matter
vote.
who you're voting for. I mean, if the numbers come out that he wins and everybody on the planet, well, not everybody on the planet, but everybody in the states voted, every legitimate citizen, I'm not encouraging illegals to vote because that's against the law. We want to stay lawful. We don't want to give them any reason to complain, right? But every naturalized, legal American citizen needs to go register. They need to vote.
Yes.
Let the numbers speak themselves.
Yes, folks. And
We'll find out who the true majority is at that point.
And when in psychology, when someone's guilty of something, they always reflect what they're guilty of or what their intentions are.
Reflect, project.
Yeah, reflect and project, So think about this. Someone telling you they're not going to validate the election's results and call it fake. We might need to do that on if he wins because it could have been stolen for reals.
It was.
It wasn't stolen this last time. Biden won
No,
fairly.
but back when what was it, Junior Bush?
Oh yeah, it has happened.
Against Gore.
Yeah, in Florida.
When what was it? What's the other Bush's name? He was the governor of Florida at the time. But bottom line, he didn't want to stop the ballot, the counting of the ballots. All of them, what they call it, the missing Chad.
The missing tallies.
The missing Chad, when everybody used to have to use those IBM cards to vote with.
Oh yeah.
That was way back in the day. But bottom line, that's what did it. That state gave Junior Bush the win.
Yeah, and
it was enough to make Gore back out. Is what really happened. So he pulled back and didn't appeal the decisions or none of that. He said, you know what, let him have it. No, we can't do that. We can't let them have it. We can't let them have it. All this old stuff, old boy talking about. We're in the beginning of a second revolution here in America, and it won't be no bloodshed unless the left resist. Well, I'm sorry, I ain't going down that easy. I'll be out there blind swinging my baseball bat, or I'll go get me an AK-47 with a 150 round clip, and I'll just be spraying everything in front of me. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not going down like that.
And I wouldn't like it to come to that because you don't know the system that will come into power. It
that
could
part
really be bad for us. And violence is not the solution.
It's not the answer. It's not the answer. But if you force me to it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but also you can't cry the elections were rigged, and then when you win, they're all of a sudden they're 100%. Come on, it doesn't work that way.
We're almost 10:10, so I'm gonna call this one to an end. I know we both got things we need to do today, so
I'm free. I'm about to hop in my studio, honestly.
I got other stuff I know I definitely need to do. Brittany, you still there, sweetheart?
Yeah, we got a lot of comments.
Okay, go ahead and run through them before we get out of here, baby.
Okay, Luis Roman said, "Good morning, gentlemen," and he likes espresso coffee. Monica said, "Good morning, everyone," and best 2 is where it's at, and we got 3 more weeks, y'all, until the casino trip. Yes, let's get it. And George said, "Boo." And Paul said that Biden is a conservative, a conservative Democrat.
Yeah, he's a conservative Democrat. I mean, that's why Obama picked him, because he was right on that, and that's why he has such a great record of making things happen in DC.
And think about this, guys. And I'm not talking about Fox News here. I'm talking about CNN, NBC, and others. They're on the
Corporate
left.
media.
Yeah, corporate media on the left was calling Biden a progressive, even though if you've been following politics, you know he's not. So you know how they still lie to us, even about our own Democratic side.
So anyway, again, folks, understand that these are the opinions of Pedro and myself. I ain't gonna throw Brittany under the bus because she's sitting over there nice and quiet. They ain't saying a word. So me and Pedro, this is our personal opinions about all this kind of stuff. So again, please don't hold it against Blind United. We're just average Americans as well. And I mean, I'm totally blind, but I see danger on the horizon, y'all. I see danger on the horizon.
You see Pedro on the horizon. Whoa.
No, he said he sees danger on the horizon.
Danger. I'm going to be like the little robot in Lost in Space. Danger.
Yeah. Also, for the one that likes espresso, I do put an espresso shot sometimes on my Starbucks when I get one of them fraps. I need an espresso shot because I need it to taste like coffee. I don't need it to taste like all that sugar.
Well, yeah, that's Luis. He's out there in Indiana. He joins into a lot of our groups. So thank you for joining us on Coffee Time, my brother. So on that note,
people everywhere who participate in Blind United. I love it.
I love it. I mean, we got folks across the nation trying to come in here and participate with us and listen to what we're doing. They participate in our interest groups. I know we ain't talked a whole lot about Blind United or You Can't Give or none of that other stuff today, but again, there's danger in the horizon.
Yeah. So, also, guys, if y'all joined us yesterday for my technology class, thank you for joining. And for those that would like to join in the future, info@blindunited.org. We talked about last night about Apple Watch, the basic usage. We went through the accessibility settings and voiceover settings and how can you customize your watch to work for you, how to change the color on your screen and stuff like that to match with your outfits and other unique things like that. And we kept it on a basic level, not an intermediate level, but in the future they will be intermediate level and advanced classes, and these do get recorded. So contact Ed if you would like to get access to those recordings. He can send you that information. And that's all I got to say, guys. Thank you again for Thursday.
Everybody have a great day. We will see you tomorrow on our TGIF, all that other good stuff. Same bat channel, same bat time. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you on the next one. All right, we out.